Everyone. Welcome to the channel of RD Automation Learning. So in this video, we'll be discussing on the topic why there are so many rejections on the software testing interviews, why people are getting rejected, what is the change that has come in the software testing interviews. And it's not the single change, there are multiple things that we would be focusing in this particular video. But before that, let me show you one interesting thing. So Topmate Creator Awards have been now live. So what does that mean? So we have been pushing, we have been creating the products on the Topmate, the digital products, the calls, the services, all those things are available on Topmate. And I would request you to cast a vote on the Topmate for me so that I can get some appreciation. I can get this award from the Topmate. So let me show you. It's very simple. It is way straightforward. So as soon as you will go to this particular Topmate page, so I'll be sharing this link also with you. You just have to click on this vote now button and you can cast 5 votes to unlock special prizes, and you can also cast 10 votes. So if you'll be casting 10 votes, then automatically there will be some X% of discount that you can avail on all these digital products, the services, the calls, one-to-one calls, or even priority DMs. So all these services you would be able to get some X% of discount if you vote. So I would request every one of you to please cast a vote on all the different categories for our profile and to make us, really eligible for the award of the Topmate from the Topmate, right? So now let me tell you why there are so many rejections happening in the software testing interviews. And see, the software testing interviews process has changed a lot. Earlier, if you will see 4 years back or 5 years back or before COVID, pre-COVID, people used to ask direct questions like smoke testing, sanity testing, regression testing, defect life cycle. But now there are a lot of changes. So they are expecting a lot of things from the candidates, which is why people are getting rejected. So I have created a simple mind map. I'll be explaining you each and everything in this particular mind map so you get a clarity of what's happening in the software testing industry and how you can get selected, how you can get a job in the field of software testing in 2024. So let us all these things one by one. So very important first thing is the concepts, the functional testing, the manual testing, software testing. You don't have to neglect these things. It's very important that you should know the concept behind these things. No one will ask you to explain the simple, direct terms and those kind of definitions like what is smoke testing, what is sanity testing. They will ask you how many test cases did you write, how many test scenarios did you execute it. So it would be kind of a scenario based questions, real time based questions. So people who are trying to get a job with a fake experience, make sure that you are able to answer these scenario based questions. Otherwise, what would happen, they'll come to know that you don't have the real time experience. And this is also applicable for the people who are just doing testing. So they might be doing just performing click, 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 and they'll say testing is completed. But the real software testing will start when you will be doing validation, when you will be checking the things are correct or not, those are working correctly or not. So the concepts of the functional testing that you need to understand, right? And see, next is automation. So in almost all the job opportunities, in almost all the job descriptions now, you would be seeing automation testing as a very key role. Even if it is not mentioned in the JD, even if it is not mentioned in the roles and responsibilities, be prepared with automation testing because some questions would be asked. And I'm coming to that particular point also, which questions would be asked, but definitely you have to prepare for automation testing. Now, time has gone when you can just focus on manual testing or functional testing and you can expect 20 years of career in the field of software testing. That is not possible. That is something that you will have to understand and if you are looking for a long-term career in the field of software testing, you have to learn automation. You have to break the myth that coding is difficult. It's not at all difficult. You can approach me for one-to-one mentorship sessions. You can approach me for batch-wise sessions. So multiple things are available. Just drop me an email at rdautomationlearning@gmail.com and we'll be happy to connect with you for explaining all these things. Third thing about AI. Many people are having a kind of a doubt that will AI take the software testing job? So it will take in case of the testers who are not doing the actual validation. See, what does software testing mean? What is the software testing? Software testing is something, it's a concept, right? It's you are following some principles, you are following some process to ensure that the things that are being mentioned in the requirement and from the end user perspective, it should be working fine. If you are not doing the testing with respect to keeping the requirements in the mind, keeping the business in the mind, keeping the client requirements in the mind, and you're just performing testing, then what would happen? The client would be able to find the defects in the projects after you ship the product, right? So then there can be layoffs, then there can be a problem for you. Why did you provide the sign off when you were not clear, right? So it is very important that your requirement should be clear, your understanding of the business should be clear. Once it is clear, then you would be able to do a justification with your job opportunity. Okay, next is about BDD. So recently I'll share one example with you. So I have one of my subscriber who went for an interview. I cannot say the name of the company, but he went for an interview and it was written like a functional consultant role, but he got the questions on BDD. So BDD has become very, very important. In almost all the interviews, they are asking about BDD. They are asking whether you have worked real time in automation or not. They are asking, is it just the knowledge that you have, or is it the real time automation testing that you have done? So learn BDD, learn Cucumber, learn how to create feature file, learn how to write code in the step definition. Those things are very, very important these days. Then the framework. So you should have the understanding of one of the automation frameworks, like keyword driven is there, data driven is there, hybrid framework is there. There are a lot many frameworks. So even if you haven't created the framework from scratch, you should be able to tell them, you should be able to convince them in an interview, yes, that this is how you have worked on these particular things. See, when you are working at a framework level, when you are working in a company, right? At times the words also matter a lot. What words you are choosing for select what words you are selecting for giving an answers in an interview, right? So those things are also very, very important. So you have to ensure that you give the proper answers with respect to frameworks. Again, coding related things also would be asked to you, right? You will be asked to write the coding. You will be asked to write some of the code like reversing a string, or maybe counting the elements that are there in an array, sorting the array in an ascending order, sorting the array in a descending order. So these all coding questions would be there. You can expect at least two programming level questions in which you would be asked to write the code, and in which you would be expected to explain the code and to get the correct output as well, right? So both the things practically are very important, Selenium as well as the coding. Now, many people will be asking, is Java good or is Python good? So I would suggest just search on LinkedIn and see in the job descriptions of the 10 jobs, in how many jobs Java is there and how many jobs Python is there. You would get Java only, right? So definitely Java is in demand. Learn Java as a programming language. That would really assist you a lot, right? And last thing is, you have to be active on LinkedIn. You have to post about the content on LinkedIn on how you have implemented that particular testing. What is your contribution in that particular testing? How did you achieve it? How did you worked on that things? So those all things are very important. So it becomes very important that you are active on LinkedIn, because recruiters have started looking into the LinkedIn profile of the people who are applying for the jobs. So it becomes very important that you are active. You should be active on LinkedIn. You should be connecting with the folks of the companies in which you are trying to get a job, so that they can refer you and then you'll get a job opportunity. So recently we have covered the success story of one of our subscriber who got a referral from the LinkedIn itself, and he got a call from the for the interview, and then he got selected. So it would be uploaded in 1 or 2 weeks soon. But the thing is, you have to understand that LinkedIn is very important. LinkedIn is it is a very important tool that will assist you in getting the right job opportunity. So these are basically the things that you have to take care in order to ensure that your rejections in the software testing should not be there. So this is a mind map that I have created with respect to all the things that are required, right? So please ensure that you work on all these things, and please ensure that you are not getting rejected, because these are all the minor things that I have experienced in this particular year 2024 with some of my subscribers, that those have been happening, and that's why they are getting rejected, right? So that's it for this particular video, and I would request every one of you again to please cast a vote, at least cast 10 votes for all these categories, and help me to get the award from the Topmate, right? So thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more updates.